Harold Shipman, also known as Fred Shipman, was an English doctor who became one of the most infamous serial killers in modern history. He worked as a general practitioner and is believed to have killed around 250 people. Shipman was convicted in 2000 for murdering 15 of his patients by giving them lethal doses of drugs. He received a life sentence and was found dead in his prison cell in 2004 at the age of 57. During the investigation, known as the Shipman Inquiry, it was revealed that Shipman targeted vulnerable elderly patients who trusted him as their doctor. He either administered fatal doses of medication or prescribed them abnormal amounts, betraying their trust. Shipman earned nicknames like Dr. Death and the Angel of Death for his actions. Harold Shipman was born on January 14, 1946, in Nottingham, the second of 3 children. His father, also Harold, was a lorry driver, and his mother, Vera, was a devout Methodist. Shipman was talented in rugby and passed his exams to attend High Pavement Grammar School. He was close to his mother, who died of lung cancer when he was 17, a death similar to his later crimes. Shipman married Primrose May Oxtoby in 1966, and they had 4 children. He studied medicine at Leeds School of Medicine, graduating in 1970. Shipman began his medical career at Pontefract General Infirmary before becoming a general practitioner, GP, at the Abraham Ormerod Medical Centre in Todmorden in 1974. However, in 1975, he got caught forging prescriptions for his personal use and was fined $600. He briefly attended a drug rehabilitation clinic before working at Donnybrook Medical Centre in Hyde, Greater Manchester in 1977. Throughout the 1980s, Shipman continued working as a GP in Hyde and eventually established his own practice in 1993. Despite his earlier troubles, he gained respect in the community. In 1983, he was interviewed on Granada television about mental health treatment, and the interview was later rebroadcast after his conviction for murder. In March 1998, concerns were raised about the high number of deaths among Harold Shipman's patients in Hyde. Dr. Linda Reynolds flagged this to the coroner, John Pollard, citing numerous cremation forms signed by Shipman for elderly women. However, the police investigation that followed didn't lead to charges due to insufficient evidence, despite suspicions from a taxi driver named John Shaw, who believed Shipman was responsible for multiple deaths. Shipman's last victim, Kathleen Grundy, was found dead at home in June 1998. Shipman signed her death certificate, citing old age as the cause, but suspicion arose when a will leaving Shipman a large sum surfaced. Grundy's daughter, Angela Woodruff, alerted the police, leading to Shipman's arrest in September 1998. Further investigation revealed a pattern of Shipman administering lethal doses of drugs, falsifying medical records, and forging wills. He was found to have owned a typewriter matching the forged will. Shipman's trial began in October 1999 at Preston Crown Court, where he was charged with murdering 15 women by injecting them with lethal doses of diamorphine between 1995 and 1998. The jury found him guilty after 6 days of deliberation, and Shipman was sentenced to life imprisonment for each murder count. He was also convicted of forgery for falsifying Kathleen Grundy's will. Shipman was struck off the medical register and given a whole life tariff by Home Secretary David Blunkett. Despite suspicions of more victims, authorities concluded further charges were unnecessary due to the 15 life sentences already imposed. Shipman maintained his innocence and never publicly admitted his actions. He remains the only doctor in British history convicted of murdering patients. Shipman hanged himself in his cell at HM Prison Wakefield on January 13, 2004 at 6:20 a.m, aged 57. He was pronounced dead at 8:10 a.m. The prison service stated that he used his bedsheets to hang himself from the window bars. Shipman's body was taken to the Medico-Legal Centre in Sheffield for a post-mortem examination and eventually released to his family after an inquest. The Shipman case led to significant changes in medical procedures in the UK, known as the Shipman effect. Doctors began to prescribe pain medication more cautiously, fearing overprescription. Death certification practices were also revised. Moreover, there was a shift from single doctor practices to multiple doctor practices due to concerns about insufficient monitoring of doctors' decisions. Additionally, the questions on cremation forms were altered to include inquiries about violent or unnatural deaths. Shipman remains the only British doctor convicted of murdering patients, despite other doctors and nurses facing accusations or convictions for similar crimes. Stay with me for more unbelievable crime cases based on real-life court documents. Never forget, criminals are living with us and crime is everywhere.